Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. And today I'm your event announcer along with Deputy Recreation Director Brian Molnar. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the two of us and the rest of the people in this parade are officially out of our minds today. Brian?
It's a beautiful...
it's a lousy day.
It's a lousy, rainy,
cold. It's 35
day.
Degrees.
It starts at rain, it turns to sleet, it goes back to rain, but we're here. We're putting a parade on today.
We're here, and we talked all weekend about what we're going to do, and we decided that there's 12 floats in this parade, and we would not have gotten any on the rain date next Sunday, I should say. There's several bands in this parade. We would not have gotten many of them back next Sunday. So either you have a parade with the floats and the bands and everything in the freezing cold, or you take your chance and go next week with no floats, a few bands, and who knows what the weather will be like next week. So we decided to go for it today.
And it's good. It's the kickoff of the holiday season. We had the holiday stroll last night. This is our unveiling of the lights in Woodbridge on Main Street. You officially lit Main Street for the holiday season. Yes, we did. All the little kids hit the button. It was great. And you know what? And by the 16th of December, this will be forgotten about.
Oh, no, we're not going to forget this one. And folks, if you're watching this, look up on our website, look in our weekly newsletter. We have so many tree lightings. The Barron Arts Center this Friday, December 6th. We have the trains opened up already in the Barron Arts Center. They're fantastic. It's free. It's worth the trip with your kids and grandkids. All other kind of events. We got the gingerbread things, and we got all kind of great things for the kids. And of course, Santa Claus is going to be here today.
Yeah, check the Recreation webpage, check the Township Main webpage. We'll have everything posted, and we're going to have a great holiday season in Woodbridge.
Yes, we are. We always do. So whatever you celebrate it well. Thanks for watching.
And good evening. I should say good afternoon. It does look like evening here. It's kind of dark and gloomy here in Woodbridge as we look up Main Street. But we are here for the 59th annual holiday parade. We are here on Main Street. As you can see, the lights are on as we see our first contingent walking up to kick off our festivities for the holidays. We have the Woodbridge High School Junior ROTC program, under the direction of Colonel Thomas Parker, Senior Army Instructor. The Army Instructor, Sergeant Major Johnson. The JROTC program serves as a character and leadership development program for our nation's high school students. It is a congressionally mandated program and focuses on the youth. The Woodbridge High School JROTC program was established in 2014, and the current program has over 105 cadets. Now coming into view is our first band. It is the Metropolitan Festival Band. Leader Michael Armidano was founded in 2001. The Metropolitan Festival Band enjoys year-round performances throughout the tri-state area. The band is made up of all professional musicians who truly love performing for events. And here we have our Grand Marshal, Dennis Henry. Dennis is the Director of Public Works for Woodbridge, just recently retired. Also, he's a fireman in the Fords, and he's also a fire commissioner. And here we have some of our brave dignitaries that are marching in today's parade. We have Mayor John McCormick. Trying to see who we have underneath all the coats and hoods. We have Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin. Also looks like we have a couple council people. We'll get them into view. Everybody is all bundled up for the elements. It really isn't a pretty day.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Here we go. We have Greg Ficara, Councilman at Large Kyle Anderson. We have Councilwoman at Large Lizbeth DeJesus with her daughter. We have Freeholder Charlie Kenny. We have Board of Ed member Dan Harris as they march their way through the elements here.
John. John McCormick, Craig Coughlin, happy to be with you as we celebrate the holiday season with the annual holiday parade. John, it's good to be with you.
It's good to be with you, pal. That was the quickest walk I've ever done in any parade in the history of Woodbridge Township. It was 25 minutes from the moment we stepped out of the Woodbridge High School parking lot to the moment we got to the stage on Main Street. Well, we didn't stop.
No, we may not be smart enough to come in out of the rain, but we're smart enough to go fast when we don't.
Well, I was keeping pace with the band. It was doing a very good cadence for a good speed, and I just kept doing it. And we didn't catch anybody, nobody caught us, so everybody was walking fast.
Yeah, everybody was. It's a tough day. But you know what? There's a number of people along the parade route.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
A small fraction of what it would have been.
Trenton AOH, Ancient Order of the Hibernians, pipe band. Colin Duffy's the pipe major. Jim Duffy's the band manager. Sean Carter's the drum major.
They were formed back in 2006, and they dedicated continuing the tradition of performing Celtic music on the Highland bagpipes.
I wonder how many they could have had. There's 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 people, plus 2 people holding the flag.
Yeah. But John, that's one of the reasons you talked about, make sure we had the parade, right? Because we lose bands and we lose...
You have to. And nothing stops the Irish, the American Irish Association of Woodbridge.
Deborah Hutchinson, the president. Ed McSherry, the vice president. Cindy Jacobinitz, the treasurer. Karen Devlin, the financial secretary. Dolores Boyd, the recording secretary. Jane Bobo, the corresponding secretary. And Jack Cassidy, the sergeant at arms.
Director Sean Keaveney, John Reitman, Barbara Lasik, Joan Diaz, Joan Ward, and Ken Egan.
They received the Frank Pelsman Award for Community Service in 2017.
They do more than just the parade, folks. They do all kinds of great things.
They do. They run the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
They're big with the Veterans Home. I know they're there all the time, having entertainment for their veterans. They raise money for their veterans.
They go back to 1966 when they were first formed. Wasn't your dad one of the original members?
He was one of the original members, yeah. Him and my mom were charter members.
Next up, Northfield Bank. It's a winter wonderland. Elsa Muniz is the Woodbridge Township branch manager team. And Angie
Circus, she's our contact.
She's the government affairs folks. They're good corporate partners, aren't they, John?
They do great things in our town. They're always sponsoring stuff. Boy, they're throwing whatever they're throwing is getting all over right into the puddles. They're throwing them. Little snowmen. We're joined by Councilman Kyle Anderson.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, Speaker.
How are you, Kyle?
Just dry. Trying to get dry right now and warm up. I saw you guys in here, so I wanted to come in and wish everyone a happy and healthy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And just take a moment to thank those that are out there fighting for our safety and making sure that we can enjoy these holidays.
I just want to point out my favorite cartoon character for Christmas, the Abominable Snowman.
There we go.
He is my favorite.
That's Joy's Dance House we see in front of us. We just saw their float. Joy Catrone is the owner, director, and teacher, located on King George's Road, right in Fords.
And the girls are all matching.
10 years. Yeah,
they got their umbrellas,
There we go. Look at that.
I don't think they'll do too many routines in front of the stage like they usually do in the wet.
Kyle, didn't mean to cut you off, but how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. Got everybody home. Had all the kids at the table.
Nice.
We enjoyed it. And yours?
Oh, it was wonderful. It's a great holiday.
I love it. It's my favorite holiday. When the kids ask me whenever I go out to the schools, I say Thanksgiving.
Well, it's you get together with people you like, you say have a nice meal, and you say thank you. It's pretty simple.
Avenel Fire Company's on a call, so they're not here, but they're backed up by the Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad, President and CEO Anthony Kersey, and the Chief, the Snowman himself, Robert Snowfield.
They're founded back in 1945. Avenel Colonia First Aid serves Avenel, parts of Colonia, with emergency services and transportation to the sick and injured for these 73 years. They've been recognized by the mayor and the governor's office for service to the Woodbridge community, and they were rated as the top EMS service by the Home News Tribune in their choice awards.
And there's Frosty and Clifford, the big red dog, and there's Garfield.
A costume character resembling Garfield.
Garfield, yes. It's not Garfield, ladies and gentlemen. That's not Clifford. He just looks an awful lot like him.
As the parade rolls on, a wet Main Street, but going to be an interesting couple of weather days, John.
Yes, it is. I hope it doesn't stick. It can snow all it wants as long as it doesn't stick.
Spoken like a mayor.
I don't see Relay for Life. And now we got the Lightbridge Academy on a float. Guy Falzerano, the founder and CEO. Elizabeth Ackland is his Island Center Director, and Ashley Rumsey is the Woodbridge Center Director. He's got like 70 across the country.
He's the biggest in the certainly in the state, maybe in in the country for providing the home away from home from families in Woodbridge and Island since 1997. They introduced the Parent View Internet monitoring in '98. He's ahead of the curve. He's one of those guys who's a leader in his industry, and so happy to have them here again in this 59th annual holiday parade.
I've known Guy for a long time. I was his accountant when he started his first center.
Really?
Yep. Then I left, went to work for Trenton, and his business exploded.
And we see somebody who looks a lot like Mickey Mouse.
That looks like Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse, sorry.
I'm sure it's not, though. We're joined by the man himself, the Grand Marshal of the 2019 Woodbridge Holiday Parade, Dennis Henry.
He is. Congratulations,
Hello.
Dennis.
His first day in retirement. He retired November 30th was his last day. December 1st is his first day, and it's a rainy, snowy, sleety, cold mess of a day.
And the guy who's not the Public Works Director, there's Minnie's partner, the other guy who looks like
Mickey, yeah.
So what's it feel like to not have to worry about the storm this weekend, Dennis?
Well, these are the worst ones. These are the ones that they tell you one thing's going to happen, and usually doesn't happen the way they say it's going to happen. So when the easy ones are the ones when they say you're going to get 6 inches, 12 inches, and you get it. Yeah. Then you can plan for it.
I'll tell you, one of the reasons I wanted to keep the parade on, because, you never know these forecasts. It wouldn't be the first time they were completely wrong, saying we're going to get rain from 12 to 6, and right now it's not even raining.
And the rain ends at 3 o'clock.
It poured at noon, and it would have been lousy to march in that, but it really stopped raining just in time for the parade.
Yeah. So, Dennis, tell us about the parade. Tell us what it means to be the Grand Marshal.
Well, I go back to my high school days when I used to come down here. My wife was in the drill team. I had to tell her she couldn't bring her rifle with her today. But she used to, back in the 70s, she used to come here. I never thought that I'd be walking with her, in this parade. So time changes everything.
I'm sorry, Dan.
It means a lot, and the honor of being Grand Marshal is important to me. I grew up in this town. To work 44 years and 11 months as in the best public works in the state. So it's the fact that it's raining and snowing, I guess that's a par for what I do.
We just saw the Island Fire Company with Chief Mark Sojak, and John, we see now the
Colonia High School homecoming queen, king, and court. The queen is Skylar DeGeorge. Her court is Emma Moran, Jill Piro, Emily Rodas, and Angelina Wintonic. And the homecoming king is Noah Ruiz. His court is Michael Krapula, John Poznansky, Rehan Rizwan, and Brandon Weiss.
Congratulations.
I was there the night we called the game when they were all selected.
Oh,
yeah? It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was there when the Woodbridge picked theirs. But that was the only game I did. And then we see behind them the Marching Patriots from Colonia High School. So, Dennis, tell us what you're going to do now. This is a heck of a way to kick off your retirement. What are you going to do for an encore?
We're going to go to the movies tomorrow. During the day.
Going during the day, huh?
Vito Mazaslan just went by, and their float celebrating over 50 years in downtown Woodbridge. And now we see the Legionnaires Marching Band.
Under the direction of Danny Tambry, color guard Gorambi, sorry. Color guard captain Mark Harold, administrative assistant Cindy King, and the treasurer Harry Axon.
They've been around since 1961. They're a little bit younger than we are, Craig.
Yeah.
They're American Legion of New Jersey state champions for 20 years. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. Colorado American Legion Post 263 sponsors the Legionnaires Marching Band, and the members consist of veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the children of those veterans.
And there's your brother Dennis sitting right there in the front seat of the car. Ford's Fire Company.
They look pretty dry.
Yeah, they look pretty dry. That's right.
And then Howie Bauer, Councilman Howie Bauer at the helm.
He's the chief. President Dan Gregan, and President of the Board of Fire Commissioners is right next to us, Dennis Henry.
Tell us about the fire company, Dennis, established back in 1911.
Yeah.
What was it like back then?
Well, a bunch of guys got together and they chartered it. We still have their names and their families were in it for probably the first 50, 75 years. So we try to keep the tradition going.
It's amazing the fire companies, how many father-son, father-daughter combinations there are. If your father's a fireman, there's a very, very good chance your kid's going to be too, in Woodbridge Township anyway. At least a volunteer, maybe not professional.
You're also a fire commissioner, right?
Hey, there we are.
Buddy, how are you? Happy holidays.
Boy, does it feel good to be dry.
Yes, it does. It sure does. So, Dennis, you were also fire commissioner, right? Now you have to give that up, right?
Yep, I gave that up at my last meeting the other night. Tomorrow night we're going to come back and swearing in Carmen Manila. He's going to be the commissioner who's going to take the remainder of my term.
There's a guy that looks like Rudolph, somebody looks like Tigger, and somebody looks like a gingerbread dude.
And you're all, so Dennis, you've what, between those two, you have like close to 70 years of service to the township.
Over 100, 44 years, 11 months public works, 35 years with volunteer fire, 23 years as a commissioner,
wow,
and 28 years as emergency manager.
It's like 130 years.
When you talk about dedication to community, Dennis, there is no better example than you. Thank
Colonia
you for
Fire
all of
Department, number 12, Chief Vincent Pereira, President Randy Garrett. And we just saw Chet Kamarowski. Speaking of a lot of years, I think he's got 60 years with Colonia Fire, and now we see the first aid squad from Colonia.
President George Riley, with 40 years of service of his own to the Colonia Fire, First Aid Squad, founded in 1951.
And Dennis, how much time do you think George Brew's going to spend getting you on speed dial as the new Public Works Director?
He wouldn't let me turn my phone in, my cell phone. Says I need to keep it for a couple of weeks. So
at least until the first winter.
I hooked him up with some of the other directors of Public Works in the area that like to talk before storms. We all like to put our heads together and figure out. So Bernie Baylor from Sayreville already called him this morning. Wanted to know what he was doing.
There we go. We see the Woodbridge Little League. Their 8 and unders were softball champs, won the USA Baseball League fall season, and their 12 and under won the USABL fall season.
Chris Malloy, President. Nate Kerselter, Softball Vice President. James Kalarakaitis, Baseball VP. Sergio Chacon, Secretary. Rich Lorenzen, Treasurer. And Brett Rackett, Player Agent.
They go back to being founded in 1952.
And now the Woodbridge High School cheerleaders.
Marching band under the direction of Captain Megan McKenzie. Senior
Cricket Gulich is the cheer captain.
Mackenzie Bork, interesting,
cheer
right?
Director.
Mackenzie Bork.
Yep.
Juliana Favor and Alyssa Molnar are the captains, senior captains.
Jason Cohn represents or directs the Marching Barons, assisted by Kevin Flaherty. Color Guard Advisor Nicole Tallarico, Percussion Instructor Daniel Barnett, Drum Majors Anna Divizia and Ethan Morix, and Guard Captain Brianna Talaka.
Dennis, you were a Baron, right?
Yeah, I was a Baron. My wife was one of the ones carrying the rifles there. She was in the drill team.
Is that how you fell in love with her? You saw her with a rifle?
It was the rifle and the boots.
And the float, we have the homecoming Queen, King, and Court. Brianna De Jesus is the homecoming queen, our very own councilwoman's daughter with the court. Catherine Catape, Christina Klapsich, Tessie Monsione, and Mackenzie Bork. Homecoming king is Kojo Niana. The court is Isaiah Pajaro, Daniel Tejas, Xavier Pazmino, and Emmanuel Thermitis.
They are followed by the Port Reading Fire Department. The chief is Kurt Delabrio, President Brian F. Small, our own councilman. They're established back in 1904, the second oldest in Woodbridge Township.
So usually the guys march with the council, but today, because of the rain, they're marching with their home fire companies. How do you like that? Brian's in the truck, warm and dry. There's Brian. Warm and dry. Howie's in the truck, warm and dry.
Right. Bailing on their other fellow councilman.
Port Reading First Aid. Brian's also the president of that. Look how busy he is. First Aid, Fire, and Council.
He's another guy with a long history.
Yeah, and he works for the board.
The community.
Don't worry, Councilman, we ordered sunshine.
And they want to thank you, Mayor.
Yes, they do.
Let's see then. Yeah, let's see.
See if we have any more council people. Brian, do you have any more council people want to go on? Yeah, she should come up. You know what else? Yeah, you're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Henry, congratulations again.
Thanks for all your service.
Thanks for the honor today, and thanks
Enjoy
for
the
45
movie.
years. Yeah.
What are you going to see?
Well, it's my choice. It'll be something bloody.
There we see.
You know, I don't
like
when kids go up to the trucks.
Yeah,
I just don't like that.
There we go. The club.
I mean, that guy's all right. He's taking his kid himself, but some of the kids just walking up makes me nervous. Anyway, the club at Woodbridge, manager John Cook, assistant manager Manza Kozub, group exercise coordinator Trish Menendez, fitness coordinator Keith Kapanos, aquatics coordinator Kate Swedog, kids sports Veronica Velasquez, and membership Rob Warrenecki. Tell you what, that's been great though. After we got that, wonderful.
As many of you know, the township has acquired the club and has become part of its community center family. with lots of other activities. A great place to go. Look, if you want to do something, and there's plenty of places to do it in Woodbridge.
Oh, you're not kidding.
They have fitness classes, racquetball, badminton, basketball, cardio, free weights, and they're home to kids sports.
And right across the street, you have the Woodbridge Community Center.
Ice hockey and roller skating and a track and weights
a pool.
and a pool. Yeah, pool. There's the Island Chemical Hook and Ladder Company, District Number 9.
Jay McPartland, just saw him waving. He's the chief. President's Perry Penna and Kevin Wirtz, former councilman in the truck.
That's right. They founded back in 1924, and they protect the west end of Island and sections of Colonia. Thank you for your service.
I think they have the swearing in today, too. I hope I can make that.
There we see some of our dedicated firefighters. What was the call in Avenel? I hope it was nothing.
I don't know. I didn't hear any details. Might have heard if it was serious, so that's good.
And we have a few more costume characters.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
We're getting too old. Our kids are too old.
Right. I know who the other guy is.
Hey, there's Lizbeth.
He looks a lot like Blue from Blue's
The Clue guy, yeah, he's clueless.
And we're about to be joined by Councilwoman at Large, Elizabeth De Jesus.
Council Vice President, and soon to be in 2020, the President.
And there we see the BCB Community Bank float. Tom Coughlin, no relation, President and CEO. Linda Estrada, Page Branch Manager in Woodbridge.
The float features Johnny Apollo. That's pretty serious.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone.
You too, Lizbeth. What's it
okay.
like seeing your daughter up there as the homecoming queen?
It was really cool. The weather didn't cooperate, but you know what? She was there, and I'm happy to say that Woodbridge High School had their full court.
Yeah.
Yes,
on their float.
Great.
So.
And you know what? The rain stopped, so it's really
not
terrible.
Yeah, it did stop, and it wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Good call. Keeping this parade on.
Here comes the Woodbridge Broncos football and cheer. The president, Kyle Anderson, we heard from him earlier, along with Ken Conglin.
Now, you notice they don't have a truck, so Kyle marched with the council.
Yeah, right.
If they would have had a truck, he would be just like Small, just like Bauer, marching in a warm, dry truck instead of.
But Lizbeth was out there
outdoors.
walking with you and me, John.
I was out there, Mike Madison was out there, and we walked through the rain. But you know what? I want to thank everybody that was out there, too. We didn't have a large crowd, but to those that were out there with the rain, watching us walk by, I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us.
Yes. John F. Kennedy, homecoming queen is Shay Amin, and the court is Chelsea Fernandez, Priyanka Patel, Viru's daughter, Mallory McGowan, and Ruby Kapoor.
Okay, and there we go. Thanks to them. Just 2 seconds here. The Woodbridge the Woodbridge Broncos had some success too. We mentioned the success of the other league. So 2019, they were 10 and under Central Jersey Division and Conference champs. 2019, 12 and under Central Jersey Division and Conference champs. Their Mighty Mites cheer team was the 2019 Eastern Regional champs. Their 2019 Pee Wee 1, Pee Wee 2, and JV cheerleaders were all Central Division champs. And 10 and under football team headed to Disney to compete.
Yes, they are, along with I think 4 different cheerleading teams are going to Disney.
Pee Wee 1, Pee Wee 2, JV cheer. They'll be in Disney to compete for a national title.
There's some guy that looks like Elmo.
Let me just take a moment and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año Nuevo, Happy New Year to everyone. Enjoy your holidays, stay safe, and spend it with your loved ones.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Did you manage to stay dry? You stayed pretty dry. You
I'm pretty good. My feet are a little
wet,
but
my feet are wet too, yeah. What are you wearing, sneakers?
I'm wearing my Uggs.
Oh.
Big mistake.
Yeah,
my big mistake
they're probably
was
soaked.
I'm wearing sneakers. That's a huge mistake.
It's the end of those Uggs.
They're warm, but my feet are wet.
This truck's moving.
Enjoy the rest of the parade, guys.
You too. Thanks, Lizbeth.
Thanks, Lizbeth. Chief Brian Fee of Woodbridge Fire Department. Let me tell you, they were at the holiday stroll yesterday. What a job they did.
Really?
They had the fire pits going. They had marshmallows roasting. They had, what else did they do? They were giving all kinds of stuff away.
And there we see them. They're the oldest Woodbridge Fire Department, organized in 1897, John. They are followed by the Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Service. Eddie Barrett is the president. John Carecchia, sorry, is the chief.
What else did the fire company do yesterday, Brian?
82 years of service to Woodbridge residents.
We're joined now by Brian Molnar.
Oh yeah,
They did the marshmallows in the fire pits.
yeah. The fire department did the fire pits with the marshmallows, and local 290 did the gingerbread house.
That's
that
what it
Santa
was.
and Mrs. Claus and
Local-
the big toy box float.
Right. So the fire company did some things. The workers, the union workers, did some things. It was great. They really made the difference in the day yesterday.
Yeah, and 290 also did free hot chocolate for everybody.
That's what it was too. Yeah.
I think they went over 1,000 cups of hot chocolate
Really?
last night. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, probably 50 people had 20 each.
Yeah, that was a that was a great crowd last night.
Oh, it really was.
That was
it
really
really was a good crowd. You guys did a great job. The recreation department always does things well. Do we have the cavalry?
I don't know. We can't see up the street.
I don't see any horses.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking to see.
They're a traditional. We're talking about the 7th Virginia Cavalry, Company A. They're usually participants. Captain Bill Winslow. Let's give him a shout out anyway. Commanding officer. The first lieutenant is Jim Donovan. He's the executive officer. Major Gary Drake is the surgeon.
Why do they need a surgeon?
Probably got all the surgeon gear. Yeah, there we are.
Here we
Just a
are.
few of
There
them.
they
Oh,
are.
there's 3 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think in those days they gave you a shot of whiskey and they cut your arm off or your leg off or whatever.
The 7th Virginia Cavalry Company A is a Civil War.
Some surgeon.
That was what the sir.
Here.
Butcher, maybe.
Bite on
Not
this.
exactly strategic.
Their reenactment unit. Their mission is to keep history alive. They were in 2011 the first prize marching unit.
Hey, come on around, Greg.
Yeah, I'm going to
There we
step
go.
out
We're
for
now
Councilman
joined by
Ficarra.
Councilman Greg Ficarra.
Greg wearing his Jets green makes him look particularly holiday-like.
Yeah, that was the intent.
Any update on the score?
No, my hands are too frozen to go to the phone. It's amazing the enthusiasm out there.
It really
guys.
is.
It's really cool.
I'm so glad. We toyed with canceling this. I'm so glad we didn't. I'd be really mad at myself if we made the decision to cancel it, because this is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's okay.
Yeah. The folks, the few folks that are out, they were very enthusiastic, and I think they appreciated, coming out.
And if you're a kid, you love it because there's less competition for the candy. Let's face it.
Yeah. Yep.
And there you go. Nothing says the holidays like getting more
I'm
candy.
getting more candy.
There we see the Virginia 7th Cavalry. I don't know why they have a surgeon now.
Yeah, I don't know either. Next up, we have the Woodbridge Community Center on the Happy Holidays float. That is Rollo the Rhino.
Oh, there we go. Vito Simaluka is our
Grimace.
Director of Recreation. Brian
Not the
Molnar
Grimace, the Grinch, I'm
is with
sorry.
us right now as the Deputy Director, and Paul Losick is the Assistant Director and General Manager. Woodbridge Community Center is a family of entertainment centers. Roller skating, as we talked about, mini golf, probably not a great day for that. Indoor pool, track, gymnasium, weight room, and cardio. So everything else you can do, every other one of those services you can take advantage of. It's a great place, folks. I encourage you to join and get out and get exercise.
The weird thing is we bought the club, and then 3 months later, the Woodbridge Community Center membership shot up.
Really?
Yep, they both increased since we bought the one.
And they're followed by the Woodbridge Township Recreation Department float, their own float, with the aforementioned people. They feature the choir from the community.
That's who they
Choir,
are.
Under the
Yeah.
direction of Karen Mercer and President Lori Miller.
They had a big tricky tray thing at Woodbridge High School, right? A big vendors thing last weekend. We
Oh,
were
did
there.
they?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know who sponsored it.
Yeah, it was the community choir. It was very nice. Wow, the great vendors there.
Next up, the Casby Fire Department. Louis Montalvo is the chief. President Thomas Berry III. They've been around for 112 years, John.
It's longer than anybody I know.
Yeah, they do their service right, marching down there on yeah,
Yeah, they
Memorial
come
Day?
down. Yeah.
They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, the only problem is they do it at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I haven't missed since I've been on the council.
No, I don't march usually, but I haven't missed going to it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh no, that's not it. Look who's there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We almost
We
forgot.
have no more pages, but there's no
There's
page
one-
because he doesn't need a page.
That guy needs no introduction.
He's well known worldwide.
And Christmas and the holiday season have arrived in Woodbridge.
It's official now.
Yeah. It's
There's a
official.
dedicated guy.
There's Rudolph leading the front with the red nose blinking.
Flew through the bad weather to be with us today. Thanks, Santa.
I want to thank the Recreation Department because it's not easy getting Santa Claus. He's always busy this time of year, but for some reason, he always comes to Woodbridge.
And with that,
I think Santa's beard's got a little longer since the rain.
And he's followed up
so now,
by the police.
The parade started less than 1 hour ago.
Right.
It started around 25 to 2. It's now 20. It's 2:31. So we're 4 minutes short of an hour. I guess we lost a bunch of groups, right, Bri? How many do you think we lost? A dozen or two?
Probably.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, we lost. Got to be.
We got to mention the great CERT team following everything.
There we go. They're always there.
Lowell Lobby, Brian Austin, Joel Formola. These guys and women, they do phenomenal work for us. They're unheralded. I try to mention it wherever I can, but they really go below the radar.
They do, but they're always there. You know, in tricky times, in cold times, in wet times, they are always there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are out, out on the streets today. They're not all just sitting in there. So.
And they know what they're doing. You can't just join that. You have to take a lot of training to be a CERT team member.
Yeah.
Community Emergency Response Team. They're terrific.
And then they have to keep their accreditation up. So it's
Right.
not like you take something once and that's it. But they're wonderful people.
We just picked off Brian Austin from the CERT team to be our Information Technology Director.
Oh, good.
He starts in the first part of next year.
That's good to hear. I just
Yeah,
saw Brian.
really good guy.
I wish I would have known that. I would have congratulated him. He's a good guy. Him and I have the finish line at the races in the summertime.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You don't race?
No. Somebody's got to cheer him on, organize it.
There we go. So that will do it for the 59th annual holiday parade as Woodbridge officially welcomes in the holiday season. Thanks to Brian Molnar. Thanks to our extraordinary crew. I don't know who's actually working today. I haven't seen anybody, but I know Lee Beckerman is there, Joe Fernandez, Gina Forbes, Will Marubio, Bruno Martins, Samantha Ross. Thank you all for your hard work, and thanks for braving the elements. Thank you to you, Greg, for being with us today. John, your final thoughts?
Well, it's as I said before, it started up really bad. It was pouring early. We didn't cancel it. I'm really thrilled that we didn't. And as it turned out, it was a good parade. We could have had more people, but you got to understand people that don't want to come out when it's raining and cold and all. But those that came out had a good time. The kids that watched and marched had a good time, and that's what's the most important thing. So congratulations to everybody, Public Works, Parks, Police, CERT, First Aid, Fire, everybody who helped make this a great parade, the best parade in the best town around.
And for all of you at home, have a wonderful holiday season. Get out, get engaged in the community. There's lots of things to do. Get involved.
Well, yeah, quick commercial. Tree lighting in Colonia, tree lighting in Woodbridge, tree lighting in Forge, tree lighting in Port Reading, gingerbread stuffing or making and all that kind of stuff. What else? We have a whole bunch of, if you look at our website, folks, you'll see all the different things. Don't forget the trains. The trains at Barron Arts Center are phenomenal.
If you have a little one, boy, I'll tell you. And if you're not, if you want to be a little one at heart, you should go too. All right, that will do it. So happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year. Be safe, be well. For Brian Molnar, for John McCormick, Craig Coughlin saying thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Goodbye.